Chelsea's public defense of her relationship with Danny creates one of the episode's most emotional moments. When Bill demands she choose between family loyalty and this phase, Chelsea's response, "I'm choosing truth, something this community forgot about long ago," earned spontaneous applause from viewers on social media. In a quieter but equally powerful scene, Martin finally reveals the full truth about Marcus to Danny, that Marcus was Vernon and Bill's former business partner who discovered their initial land fraud and was going to expose them before his accident. This confirmation of what Danny had suspected creates a powerful payoff to the mystery that's been building since episode 3. The episode's central set piece is Bill Hamilton's Founders Day speech, which begins as a self-aggrandizing celebration of the community, but transforms into something far more significant when he's interrupted by an unexpected arrival, Smitty Richardson. What follows is one of the season's most powerful scenes, as Smitty, typically reserved and private, takes the microphone to address the community. His speech about being an outsider who was welcomed into Oakwood Estates only to discover its rot from within serves as a powerful metaphor for the show's themes. The revelation that Smitty has been gathering evidence about all the founding family's misdeeds, not just the Duprees, creates a perfect mid-episode twist. The montage of shocked reactions as he details specific instances of fraud, infidelity, and corruption is masterfully edited. The scene culminates in Smitty revealing that he's not working alone, and Leslie Thomas steps forward to join him, confirming that she's been his insider all along. This partnership revelation recontextualizes many of their previous interactions and creates a brilliant payoff to Leslie's mysterious behavior throughout the season. Just as the community descends into chaos following Smitty and Leslie's revelations, the episode delivers its most shocking twist yet. Anita Dupree takes the stage. In what will surely become one of the most referenced scenes of the series, Anita reveals that she's been aware of the community's impending collapse for weeks. The contents of her hidden safe are finally revealed. Documentation proving that Oakwood Estates was built on land stolen from a historically Black community that was forcibly displaced decades ago. Her monologue about how our paradise was built on someone else's pain delivers the thematic heart of the season. The revelation that she's already been working with representatives of the displaced families to establish a reparations fund completely reframes her character arc. The scene's power comes from his performance as we watch Anita transition from community defender to truth teller. Her final line, "The gates were never meant to keep others out. They were built to keep us from facing the truth," encapsulates the show's central metaphor perfectly. 1. Vernon finally arrives, only to find his wife has undermined his attempts at damage control. Their confrontation in the venue's kitchen reveals the deep fissures in their marriage, with Vernon's accusation that Anita has destroyed everything we built met with her powerful response, "What we built was already rotten." 2. Bill Hamilton's attempt to seize control of the situation backfires spectacularly when his daughter Chelsea publicly reveals his involvement in Marcus's death, confirming Martin's earlier revelation to Danny. 3. Nicole makes the decisive choice to stand with her mother and sister rather than with Ted, marking a significant character evolution from the season premiere. 4. Eva Thomas finally emerges from her sister's shadow, revealing that she's been gathering evidence of Leslie's manipulations for months. The sequence is brilliantly directed, with the camera moving between multiple confrontations happening simultaneously throughout the venue, creating a sense of the community's complete breakdown. Just when it seems the episode can't possibly pack in more drama, we get the sequence that has dominated social media discussions all week. As Vernon attempts to flee the event, he's confronted by an unexpected figure, Marcus, very much alive despite having been presumed dead for years. This revelation recontextualizes the entire season and confirms that Marcus has been the architect behind exposing Oakwood Estates' secrets. The confrontation between Vernon, Bill, and Marcus on the mansion's balcony creates unbearable tension. especially when Martin joins them, revealing his role in helping Marcus remain hidden all these years. No one could have predicted the episode's final moments. Vernon's desperate lunge at Marcus, the struggle between all four men, and the shocking image of Bill Hamilton falling from the balcony. The episode's final shot of Bill lying motionless on the pavement below, while guests rush out in horror, creates the perfect cliffhanger leading into next week. The revelation about Oakwood Estate's origins perfectly encapsulates the show's exploration of how privilege often comes at someone else's expense. Anita's journey from defender of this paradise to its truth teller represents the moral awakening at the heart of the series. The growing alliance between the younger generation, Danny, Chelsea, Nicole, represents hope for accountability and change, contrasted with the older generation's desperate attempts to maintain the status quo. The Founders Day celebration, meant to honor the community's legacy, becomes the venue for exposing its darkest truths, perfectly embodying the show's exploration of facades. Smitty's emergence as a central moral force validates the show's suggestion that sometimes it takes an outsider to see the truth about a community. His partnership with Leslie creates fascinating questions about justice versus revenge. Particularly powerful is the recurring motif of the founder's portrait, which is literally shattered during the chaos of the episode's climax, a visual representation of the community's fractured mythology. Delivers a tour de force performance, particularly during her revelation scene. Balancing vulnerability and strength finally gets his moment to shine. After simmering in the background for 7 episodes brings remarkable emotional depth to her confrontation. With her father makes a memorable impression, despite having been mentioned but never seen until now. The production design and costume choices deserve special mention. The formal attire for Founders Day creates visual splendor, while the gradual disarray of these perfect outfits throughout the episode visually represents the breakdown of order. The episode's director uses architectural elements of the venue, staircases, balconies, separate rooms, to create visual metaphors for the community's hierarchies and divisions. 1. Is Bill Hamilton dead, or will he survive to face justice? 2. How will Vernon respond to Marcus's return and Anita's betrayal? 3. What role will the displaced families play in the remainder of the season? 4. Will the younger generation succeed in creating a more honest community from the ashes? 5. What is Marcus's ultimate agenda beyond exposure? Based on the episode's events, I predict we'll see a significant power shift, with Anita potentially emerging as the community's new leader focused on reconciliation and reparations. The alliance between Danny and Chelsea seems positioned to represent the future, while the revelation about Marcus creates endless possibilities for the season finale. House of Cards delivers exactly what the title promises. The careful structures these characters have built come crashing down in spectacular fashion. The episode serves as both a satisfying payoff to season-long mysteries and a perfect setup for what promises to be an unforgettable finale. What did you think of this game-changing episode? Were you shocked by Marcus's return? Did you suspect Leslie and Smitty were working together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our final 2 episode recaps of Beyond the Gates Season 1. I have a feeling the best is yet to come. Until next week, when we'll see the fallout from Bill's potential death and Marcus's return. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Amelia, and today we're breaking down the absolutely explosive 8th episode of CBS's Beyond the Gates. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our weekly recaps. And fair warning, we will be covering everything from episode 8, including that shocking ending that has social media on fire. So consider this your official spoiler alert. If you thought the drama at Oakwood Estates couldn't get any more intense after last week's confrontation at the country club, buckle up because episode 8, titled House of Cards, just changed the game completely. After 7 episodes of simmering tensions and carefully guarded secrets, House of Cards delivers exactly what its title promises: The careful structures that these families have built begin to collapse spectacularly. The episode centers around the annual Founders Day celebration, commemorating the establishment of Oakwood Estates. As with any event in this community, what should be a simple celebration becomes a pressure cooker of rivalries, revelations, and revenge. With Vernon Dupree's land development scandal now public knowledge thanks to Danny's whistleblowing in episode 6, and the Richardson family's banking improprieties exposed last week, the community finds itself in unprecedented turmoil. This episode masterfully brings multiple storylines to a head while setting up what promises to be an explosive final 2 episodes of the season. What makes this episode particularly brilliant is how it pays off seeds planted since the very beginning of the season, while still managing to surprise us with twists we never saw coming. Let's break it all down. Vernon's development scandal had become public. With federal investigators now examining the Dupree family finances, Anita had taken control of damage control, freezing out Danny for her betrayal. Nicole discovered Ted's offshore accounts and confronted him about his financial deception. Bill Hamilton had leveraged the Dupree scandal to position himself as the community's new leader. Martin and Smitty reached a breaking point after the revelation about Martin's connection to the mysterious Marcus Chelsea, and Danny's secret relationship was exposed at the country club, creating another scandal for both families. Leslie Thomas was revealed to be working with someone outside the community to gather dirt on all the families. The episode ended with Anita discovering something in her hidden safe that clearly terrified her, a plot thread that will pay off dramatically in today's episode. Episode 8 opens with preparations for the Founders Day celebration, traditionally hosted by the Dupree family but now commandeered by Bill Hamilton in light of Vernon's scandal. The camera work brilliantly contrasts the festive decorations with the grim expressions of the community members, establishing the tension immediately. Uses a series of revealing tracking shots that follow different characters arriving at the event, each carrying their own burdens. Anita arrives alone, her usual confident stride replaced by a careful composure that's clearly costing her effort to maintain. Vernon is conspicuously absent, reportedly dealing with legal matters. Nicole and Ted arrive separately, the strain in their marriage now impossible to hide. Danny arrives with Chelsea Hamilton, their public debut as a couple creating visible discomfort. Bill Hamilton presides over everything with barely concealed satisfaction. Leslie Thomas circulates with her phone constantly in hand, clearly documenting everything. Martin arrives without Smitty, his isolation palpable. The production design deserves special mention. The Founders Day celebration features historical photos and memorabilia from Oakwood Estates' establishment, including a prominently displayed portrait of the original founding families. This portrait becomes a focal point throughout the episode, with characters repeatedly drawn to it as the community's foundations crumble around them. Their verbal sparring during Bill's opening speech sets the tone for the episode. When Bill subtly references the Dupree family's fall from grace, Anita counters with a toast that reminds everyone of Bill's own past indiscretions. The exchange is masterfully written, with layers of meaning beneath seemingly polite remarks. After weeks of suspicion, Nicole finally confronts Leslie about her involvement with Ted. The revelation that Leslie wasn't having an affair with Ted but was rather helping him hide financial information creates a brilliant twist. Nicole's realization that Leslie has been playing multiple angles all season lands perfectly.